I know you see me on the video. I know you heard me on the radio. But you still don't pay me no attention. Listening to what your girlfriends mention. He's a slut, he's a hoe, he's a freak. Got a different girl every day of the week. It's cool, not trying to put a rush on you. I have to let you know that I got a crush on you. You on the natural high, natural high, you on the natural high.
Alright, so we're back. Alright, so this is like a weird angle, but it's the only way I could get it to stick on my car. The vlogs are back. I'm trying to plan for once a week, every Sunday. Kind of like when I used to release those weekly update videos, if anybody still remembers those pieces of shit. Bringing more of a cinematic style back. I dropped Final Cut Pro, which is an editing software if you're familiar with it. Started using Adobe Premiere Pro. So much better. I can finally do the type of stuff that I want to do with this vlog, or with these video series. So I've dropped the name vlog because I hate that word, as I've said many times. I've called them Q-logs, which is, it's a name. I mean, it's better than nothing. In this new year, I've kind of stepped up my gear game a little bit, as if you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, it's Q_productions, I'll put it down low. The link will be in the description. That's kind of where I run my business off of. It's mostly, photography and video. That's all I really do besides work at a restaurant during the day, or during the night on weekends. But other than that, I stay pretty busy. Uncle was happy enough, and I'm lucky enough for him to give me a drone. I got the Phantom 3 Professional. He doesn't really use it anymore, and he trusts that I can make cool things with it. So I'm gonna hopefully do that for him. Don't think that these videos are gonna be drone heavy. That's not what I wanna do. I wanna use it as a character in my videos, as opposed to just the whole purpose of the video. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, and I seek to improve people's mindsets on drone usage. However, I'm not going to be asking permission to fly it. I'm not calling into the FAA. That's just too much work for me. I'm not going to be flying it anywhere, where I shouldn't be, but I don't see why I have to call the FAA. I'm just not going to do it. Also got a full photo backdrop setup, which I've done a lot with so far. Hoping to do a lot more as well. A couple other small things, but I'm just really looking to improve with the stuff that I have and complement that with some new equipment and some new cameras. I think that it's not about your gear, it's how you use it. And I've had the same camera and microphone setup, a couple of different tripods, and the same 3 lenses for about a year now. More than a year, actually. And I've been able to create a ton of content that people ask me, they're like, I was in a job interview at an ad agency. The person who was like one of the video editors for the company asked me what gear I use, and I just kind of rumbled off a couple things, or I rattled off a couple of things, and she was surprised that I told her I use like a very basic camera. It's capable enough for me, it shoots HD, it does the frames per second that I need, and I have just enough gear to make things work. And she thought that I was using some $10,000 rig with like, it's crazy, like 4K. No, you don't need that nowadays. And it's all about how you put things together. And I'm really learning how to do that better for myself. So of course, as I make more money in the photography game and in my business, I will be buying more gear, nicer cameras. But you know what? I'm not going to buy a new camera until I feel like I have used this camera to its fullest extent, and that I can no longer do anything with it. And I think that's very important, and I think that, I'd rather not go out and spend $3,000 on the next camera that I want to buy, just for the camera itself, and I gotta buy a whole new set of lenses for it. I'm only gonna do that if I can do a lot more with it, not if it's like a marginal change for me. So I have to get my content to the level where I think that I am done using a camera like this as my main camera. I'll probably still keep it and, you know, use it on the side as a backup, but, you know, it's reliable. You know, I have plenty of batteries to this thing. I have all the gear for it. Everything's geared for this camera. And I feel like I'm still within my range here. These coming few weeks, I'm gonna be working a lot more on, you know, working on my cinematic style, and I'll be working on a lot more videos. I've got stuff planned. I've got collaborations planned with people that I didn't even think that I was gonna get to work with. And that's just really the power of Instagram and the power of social media working together. You know, followed someone, they hit me up and they said, I would love to work with you, I like your style. And I was honestly about to send you a message. And it's that type of attitude towards people it's really, really inviting. Looking to do a lot more of these videos and, you know, put some real time into them. Because if I try to do these videos every day, it's not gonna work. Because, I mean, it could if I were to schedule myself properly, and I understand that, but, you know, the amount of there's this thing called rendering time when you're editing video, and you don't really, when you're putting everything together in the software that I'm using, you don't have to render. But when you want to do everything, when you have to like render it to let it load and everything like that properly, it can take a very, very long time, especially with the computer that I'm using. Now, it's not a bad computer, it's just not great. And right now, I wanted to edit the hyperlapse that you just saw. Right? Great example. That was probably about 17 minutes long, 1080p, 24 frames per second. If you're a dork like me, you know what that means. Okay, I condensed that to 10 seconds and added another effect to it. It's called frame blending to give it that cool blur. That took cumulatively about an hour and a half to render for the computer to figure out what to do with it. And I want it just for a 10-second clip in this video that is probably going to be 10 to 15 minutes long. And that's just unrealistic for me. If I have a lot of clips like that, and I have a lot of really cool shots that are high resolution, a lot of frames per second, a lot of slow, things like that, takes time. And, you know, I'd rather take my time with it and, you know, make more of an art out of it as opposed to like a rushed product. And I think you'll be a lot happier, and I'll be a lot happier with what comes of it. Well, as usual, I forget to end these videos. So if you like the video, leave it a like, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. Dislike it, I don't really give a shit. Comment down below, but follow me on the gram for sure. And yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye, Miss Laura.